Next time, listen to me.
Next time?
Oh, hells yeah, blonde ambition. Buckle up for phase 2.
Phase 1 is the country, 2 is the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the one flaw in every like super smart super villain's plan is that they clearly think they know what's best for everyone. Mm-hmm. And so they think, oh, I'm going to rebuild a perfect society, but that means taking away people's choice.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to work out.
No. Welcome back to the after show here on the break room. We love it when a plan comes together. Hit that graphic. That's right. Today we're talking about The Boys Season 4 finale. I'm Brandon Barrick, and joining me today, she's been telling Grace Mallory to watch her neck this whole time. It's Gina Ippolito.
She didn't listen.
She did not
listen. Everyone needs to listen more to me.
Yeah. Never try and tell a teenage boy what to do. And what else can he say other than, "You're welcome"? It's Jay Washington.
Hey, sometimes you gotta be real. You're welcome, mate.
You're welcome.
Real quick, shouts out to everybody BlurCon who showed us a lot of love for these episodes, man. I want to make sure everybody knows, because they was like, oh, I love what y'all talk about. They love the three of us together. So damn it, we're a crew from now on.
That's right.
We're the three.
Jay's locking it in.
Locking it in.
Golden buzzer, straight to Hollywood, baby.
This is the real 7. You can't see
See the other people.
Four other people.
Should they just rename it to the 4 and like make their lives
they
a lot
gotta
easier?
rebrand at some point.
I think Vaught's like Nas, the work, just because it's 7 Tower. It's Vaught Tower, but there's a big 7 on the side.
Yeah.
They're like, hey man, we just gonna keep the number together. Literally, something gonna happen.
Yeah, you can make it a 4. I don't know. We got a lot to talk about with this finale. Like, what is phase 2 of Sage's plan? This is only phase 1. What's going to happen in the next and final season of The Boys? We'll get into all that and more. But before we do, Jay, kick us off with a little bit of a recap.
All right, I don't know who wrote this, but we will make it happen.
Here we go.
Look, Hughie is still happily unaware that his girlfriend has been replaced by a sociopathic shape-shifting suit who is a freak, by the way.
You know.
Shorty gets damn. Listen.
They had sex 20 times.
20 times.
In 10 days?
In 10 days.
2 a day.
Listen, sometimes you got to have to work out 2 a days. It's good for the cardio.
He's got some ass play in.
Man,
he's
2
expanding
fingers.
his
We
horizon.
found out about 2
We're only about a minute into this episode.
A minute into this.
We've already talked about
It's been a
ass
tough season for Hughie.
Literally, he done had his mama come back that people didn't believe was real, Brandon.
She wasn't touching anybody. No one looked at her.
His daddy walked through people, then died.
Yeah,
Like, it's been weird for Hughie, all right?
Yeah.
But the shapeshifter proposes to Hughie, and who happily accepts. By the way, before she starts deteriorating at the fingers,
Right.
which is crazy, but Singer is sworn in as president, and the boys immediately have to hide him in the bunker because they're afraid of Homelander's assassin, because basically all the information on the computer is gone.
Yeah.
And the fake Annie is in the bunker with them, and she just starts murdering everybody. Look, she killed this one poor soldier, put him on a coat hook, coat hook. Like, that was just a horrible way to go. But real Annie arrives just in time to kill the shapeshifter, and Singer is saved for now. Now, back at Vaught, Homelander, who is now the emperor of the world, he feels, prepares to take over the rest of the world by having everyone who has dirt against the 7 killed, including many Vaught employees, which Ashley was like, hey, bro, we got to pay a severance package. And he was like, don't worry about all that. They're like, don't worry about it. They ain't going to need no severance because they ain't going to have no life. Ashley gets targeted as well, only because of the Deep's asshole self, but hides away in Homelander's room, dosing herself with V, shouts out to the wig that disappeared. What do you think happens to Ashley, ladies and gentlemen, after that? Watching, and also to my esteemed people on the panel.
I mean, first of all, like, that's bold of her to inject herself because she doesn't know what power she's gonna get.
No, she also knows it doesn't go well for the older you are when you take V. It's not good.
Yeah. Also, like, she still can't stand up against Homelander. If Homelander wants to murder her, she's still. But at least, like, maybe she'll be. But I don't know. It looked like her bones were getting bigger.
I want to know: does the V grow her hair back?
That's what I want her to have. I immediately thought of Medusa from the.
Yeah, I thought about Medusa. I think she gets the Medusa head. I think that's what's coming out of her head.
Either that, or she becomes like the leader and like gets like a big brain.
Big balls.
But then I think it's too much like Sage, right? Like, give her like.
Don't mean the brain has
prehensile
to be,
hair.
Just because her head can be big, don't mean it's got to have the salts in it. It's just she got a big ass brain.
She's
like my hand-eye coordination's incredible.
I'm so focused right now, right? Boom, like all that. I think like whatever I don't know. It was just scary for her to take it because it just looked like it. First of all, it looked like it hurt.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like
there's never. I mean, even when Zoe was getting it,
Yeah.
like she would like scream.
Kimiko couldn't scream when she got it. When she got the re-injection from Annie.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like it hurts, and her skull was crack-a-lackin'.
Yeah.
That's why I never want to be a werewolf because werewolves look like it hurt to transform.
Yeah, it really does.
It's also like when you get that like sushi from Ralph's and like you take a couple bites and then you're like, oh God, why did I do that?
Hey, first of all, on behalf of all late night Ralph sushi buyers, I need him to chill out, okay? There's times you got 1 in the morning, almost 1 in the morning, they about to close. You ain't trying to get that greasy.
Oh,
Shut your face.
the worst
There's a
time to
rainbow
get it.
roll sitting there. It's good.
Homelander has a stash full of Ralph sushi in a drawer that you just pull out.
on
like,
ice.
Spicy tuna, a little salmon.
A little sashimi. I mean, you had something you wanted to say, but you look completely lost.
I'm just blown away right now. You were saying, Brandon, earlier that it would be too much like Sage if she was like super smart or something, right?
Right.
But would that also make her the perfect like antagonist then to Sage if she wants revenge on the Seven?
Yeah. I wonder where Ashley does go from here because she had the opportunity to run earlier when A-Train was like, we got to get out of here.
Yeah.
Or she had pitched like, we can go to Italy. And then when A-Train's like, yeah, let's get out of here. She's like, no, I can't go.
Whatever it is, I think at the end, I know we're going to ask it later, but I'll say it real quick. I think she's really going to become a girl boss. That's been her whole thing. I'm a girl boss. I can't leave. I'm a boss. Even though they kept telling her, yo, you're just the CEO as a placeholder. She's still making decisions. So even if she gets this bulbous ass dome and she gives great head like Corinne Steffens, that means she can, that is a great hip hop reference out there. But even if she gets, I don't think, like Sage is playing, like her brain thinks quickly.
Right.
Maybe she doesn't think at the same level as Sage. Because you find out everybody does, like there are some people who have the same abilities. Like, remember, there were two speeds.
Sure.
Shockwave and A-Train.
Yeah, and there's like Marie and Victoria Newman.
So she could be the other Sage.
Have we had anyone with telepathic powers?
Well,
yet?
Cindy.
Oh,
Can,
yeah,
like,
she can control stuff.
like-
That's telekinesis, though.
Yeah,
Right, yeah.
yeah. Oh, telepathic. It's a good question. I mean, that would be cool if she's.
I mean,
because she's-
Kate can like touch.
Oh, she right off the down.
I mean,
Kate can touch people and influence that, like push them.
yeah. Like she can show them.
Yeah.
She can show them what. But it would be cool if Ashley, the ultimate people pleaser, suddenly could hear people's thoughts and give them exactly what they wanted.
I mean, I don't know if it's like super soldier serum. It's not really like a manifestation of your like inner being or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, in some ways it is because like Hughie teleporting, right? He's kind of like a scaredy cat.
That was
like
what he is.
Okay, yeah.
Scaredy power.
Butcher became what he hated.
He became Homelander.
He became
right?
Homelander minus being able to fly.
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
I have to ask this question. Since this is a thing that has been brought up right now, I am going to ask it on this show.
I'm afraid.
What does that mean about love sausage? I have to ask. Okay, because if you think about it.
I think it was just always like I think he was always a confident dude, you know? It just manifested itself that way. His confidence.
I'm just saying, like, if we're looking at that, if we're looking at, like, there's manifestations of certain things about people, like, you have, termite means you think you're big, but you're really small on the inside.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. We'll see what Ashley's powers are.
Yeah. I can't.
I mean,
wait.
hopefully she lives long enough.
I think she will. You cannot kill her off. I want her to make it.
Yeah, you can't.
long.
For the last season, she's got to be around.
Or she's running Vault Tower looking like this, like, help me, like the dude off RoboCop.
But speaking of someone who I think will not make it through the entire series, Butcher is not doing well.
No.
He survives this episode. His chances, I don't think his chances are good for season 5. Grace Mallory and Ryan visit him in the hospital where he's allowed to smoke cigarettes. But Ryan freaks out when they tell the truth about Homelander and try to get him to agree to kill his father. Jeez, pressure much? Oh my goodness. Listen, we just need you to kill your dad to save all of humanity.
Not like today.
Do it in the Ryan voice, though. Do it in the Ryan voice.
Listen, just add it to your to-do list.
Oh, gosh.
Jeez.
I got a lot of homework. I got a lot of homework to do. I'll kill my dad later.
Can I get a cell phone?
I just want to play Connect 4 before I kill my father. That's it.
And then in a truly boneheaded move, Mallory doesn't let Ryan leave, and a little dude channels Papa Homelander and kills her.
I mean,
I was not expecting that.
boneheaded move. I think Grace Mallory saw in that moment, like, this is my final chance. Because if he walks out now, he's never coming back.
I don't think so. I think Butcher was getting through to him. I think if she let him, on his terms, go back and think about it, and he went back to the 7 Tower and was like, oh, cool, my dad destroyed my room, I'm going to go call Grace Mallory. But instead, she was like, ha, I'm going to lock you in here. And he was like, no, bitch.
Yeah, she was real pushy. She was like, hey, bro, you can't leave right now.
Well, I mean, the
got
world
the
was
desperation
falling apart
center
around
then.
them. I think if she knows that, like, I think she can sense that Homelander's winning him over a little bit, and, like, now's the time.
She hasn't been around. I think she should have just been like, Ryan, let's write our thoughts into a letter and sit down over some baked ziti.
I mean,
Why baked ziti? What was it?
Every kid loves big CD. You're right that she hasn't been around, and maybe that plays into it because she had custody of him for like a year.
She was
like,
Auntie Grace.
Yeah, she was Auntie Grace. And he was much younger. He's like,
Yeah.
I just lasered my mom to death. She's raising him, and then she blames Butcher for like letting Homelander take him. And so I think she's just been panicking this last year, and she doesn't realize how much he's kind of changed in the year.
And she hates and she despises Butcher so much.
Yeah.
You know, she knows she needed him. But she doesn't realize Butcher was the only one getting through to him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because remember, Butcher made the cookies when he was like, you know what? I'm not going to kill him with the cookies. All these different things. Ryan has just been real chill with him.
I think she was just being stubborn. I think she wanted to be right, and she died. Butcher feels real sorry for himself, and he gives in to Kessler, who has been hardcore pushing the idea of genociding all the Supes.
Yeah.
Butcher shows up just as the boys are making a deal with Newman, because after being outed on live TV by Homelander as a Supe, she's ready to turn over a new leaf. It's about time. Once Homelander's like, what about your daughter, huh? She's like, I'm going back to my
Homelander was
dad.
petty because Homelander, he'd already went through everything. He was like, yo, I'm done with this. It just...
Yeah, and her eyes clouded over, and everyone knew, and now people are going to be like, wait a minute, wasn't she there when those Supes were...
Yeah,
when those heads were popping?
I do hope in the next season they kind of backtrack a little bit and be like, wait a second.
Yeah.
Maybe that was her.
Yeah, if I was one of those people that saw that news footage and was like, oh my God, there was a superhero in that room popping heads? Oh my God, she's a superhero? Wait a minute.
But did you hear Firecracker? How she spun the story real quick? If you listen, she's like, yeah, she's been working on our side the whole time. She's been taking out the deep state.
Say what you will about Firecracker, but she's good
on camera.
Good on camera.
She's good on camera.
I mean, not anymore now that she's a sweaty, hard, enlarged mess. But Butcher is in full murder mode, and he rips Newman in half, which we sort of hypothesized last episode that she would probably be the one to go. With everyone in shock, not us. We're really smart. He takes the virus for himself.
You're welcome.
Frenchie was a whole hoe in this scene. Let me just say this. He told Frenchie had the gun right up on him, said, hey, bro, you took V. This will work on you. And Butcher just was like, you ain't finna do nothing. Didn't even like forcefully take it.
It's hard to shoot
Because Frenchie's not going to do
friend.
it. Yeah.
And Frenchie just turned over a new leaf.
Well, also secretly don't like you. I watched the scene a few times, and like there's an interesting thing there where it's like, do you think they know that Butcher's right? Like that deep down they know that this is the only way this whole thing ends.
I think they do recognize like, oh yeah, we can make this deal right now, but it's a paper deal. Like it could fall apart so easily.
It's like it's putting a Band-Aid on a
right, and it also doesn't
wound.
Fix what else is going on.
Yeah, it's only for Newman and Zoe. That's all that
but
deal
the thing is, like any more Supes that they get on their side, like that helps them. I realize that Victoria is sort of wishy-washy. She goes back and forth, but in that moment, he should have thought of the long con and been like, okay, we can ally ourselves with her for right now to get over this hump of society collapsing.
Yeah.
They didn't do it. She's dead.
Real quick, I think if I may, Hughie has that soft spot for Vicky, right? We knew it all the time. He'll talk to her. He went over, tried to have snacks and everything. He was like, when she said, I'll tell you where Zoe is, that's when Hughie was like, all right, she's real. Butcher, like, I don't care. I need to do whatever I can to get to one person. That's the crazy thing. Butcher's whole thing is about getting to one person now.
Well, I think if Butcher was in control, I think that's why the boys don't really know what's going on with him. They don't know that. And I think if it was Butcher in control, he could have controlled himself. But because he gave himself over to Kessler, Kessler's like, it's going to be more fun to rip him in half.
Yeah.
Rip them all in half.
Rip them all in half, I say. Well, you know what? Our boy homie, he's down in the dumps ever since Ryan walked out on him and Newman got murdered. He's having a tough time, but he's cheered up by the return of Sage. She comes back to get her diary that I guess no one ever looked at. I don't know.
Hashtag Gina was right. I said,
What were you right
I
about?
said this was her plan all
along.
I
We all said
she-
that.
Yeah, blah, blah, blah,
I know I said it from jump.
Revisionist history.
I know I said it all along.
I
This has been
said
her
that
plan.
she was adjusting in real time, that all this was part
Sure.
of her whole plan.
Sure. Yes, that is what Sage revealed. It was all part of her plan, or she could just say that right now. You know, it doesn't matter. Singer is being framed for Newman's death. Because he got caught on camera saying, I told you guys to kill her. And Sage has made sure that the next president, Calhoun, who was Speaker of the House and has moved up through the rules of succession, is loyal to Homelander. So it all worked out pretty well. End of the series, let's go home. But from his perspective, that being Homelander, his son hates him and he's kind of bummed out by it.
Yeah, also
because
he's
we
still
know
got all those gray pubes to deal with.
he's got all those great poops.
When she took out the jar finally, he was like, you're disgusting.
He's disgusted with himself. We know that he has a need for love and acceptance and that is through a mother figure, but I also think he wants it from his own son.
Just family. I think
Yeah.
family in general.
Also, do you think he's scared of Ryan?
I think he should be. I mean,
remember when he yelled at Ryan to come here and Ryan didn't move?
right.
And he normally he knows as his father. He
also
could've been-
didn't chase him
He didn't
when
chase
he
him
left.
either. Like he
Yeah.
knows Ryan is strong.
I mean, I'm not a father.
I don't think he's afraid of him. I think he's just like, there's some things you can't come back from,
Right.
and that,
Yeah.
that includes killing your son.
Right.
I mean, look, this is Homelander. Granted, he wasn't supposed to be able to ever have kids.
Yeah.
'Cause that's the one thing about V.
If you go back to like season 1, when he discovers that he has a son, his face is like, oh damn, and
Yeah.
he's always wanted to give Ryan the family structure that he lacked because he was kept in a lab.
Right.
So I think he's not ready to cross that threshold
Yeah.
yet
Okay.
of
That-
ripping his own son in half.
I think he does fear his son in a way. You know, I don't have kids, and thanks to Mountain Dew Code Red, I never will have kids. But if you...
That yellow number 5, baby, got to him.
He's got one testicle full of microplastics,
It's
the
doing
other
great.
full of Mountain Dew.
Yeah, it's doing great. I think a lot, there is the idea of like, you know, the Oedipus complex works both ways where like fathers in some, you know, deep down, instinctual, evolutionary way fear their own sons in an animal structure where like this younger male will rise up to replace you at one point.
Well, let me tell you
right?
something. As a father of a 20-year-old, I'll beat my son's ass.
Yeah, you gotta tell him that.
I'm telling my son this on camera. I will beat your ass.
Yeah. I got your back, Jay.
When you're coming home, Daddy, don't know.
My son is big. Is like he's
Yeah.
big and he works out, and I understand that. Like, yeah, sometimes you want to be afraid of him, but let me tell you something. I'll clap your earlobes together.
But there is
you.
that
I love you to death.
fear though, right? Homelander knows Ryan is part him. He knows what he is, right?
Yeah.
And so he should fear that. And I think deep down he does fear Ryan.
But
It's
also-
Ryan's humanity.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
but also he, like, Homelander sees himself aging,
Right.
and Ryan is the one that will carry on his bloodline. So through Ryan, he will achieve immortality.
I'm coming for you, Dad. I'm gonna kill you. Since they have nothing on Homelander anymore and Newman is dead, the boys decide to split up and go into hiding. But boy, oh boy, they don't make it. They're all hunted down and caught. Kimiko and Frenchie get split up by Sam and Cate from Gen V.
Which I said, what was gonna happen if something happened to Frenchie?
He was gonna speak.
She was gonna speak.
Yep.
Great. She said no, not Frenchie.
I mean,
What the record said.
you know what I meant. You know what the hell I meant.
No, she did yell. Though it does seem like when you
To Frenchie, yes.
switch it, when you use Cate to control Kimiko and Sam to control Frenchie.
Sam is strong enough.
Yeah,
I know, but
think-
like,
No, I think it makes more sense because who knows, like, we don't really fully know Kimiko's powers. What if
she might be able to
Cate tried
resist it.
Yeah,
Ooh,
like what if
okay.
Cate tried it and they resisted it?
Yeah.
But Sam is physically strong enough to restrain her.
I think before they did it, they had a little conversation like, I think we can make her talk if we do it this way. And you know what? Narratively, it's great.
I know we'll probably find out in the next season, but I want to know, how did they find where everybody was going?
I loved that moment because I did think like, oh, they're all getting away, they're
It's
splitting
the
up.
Godfather
And there was
moment.
yeah.
Yes.
It also reminded me of the end of Daredevil season 1, right? When everyone's getting led away and it feels great.
Right.
It's like the antithesis of that where
Yeah.
everyone's getting caught. And
Yeah,
you're like,
yeah.
oh no. So yeah, Frenchie and Kimiko get caught. MM gets slapped in the face by Love Sausage, his old nemesis.
Love Sausage is back.
Hey, at least it was the meat and not the juice this time.
I mean, he's still gonna need a lot of Purell.
He's still gonna need a lot
He's
all
gonna
over
be
the
thrown into a
jaw.
salad.
Yeah,
He's gonna
yeah.
be like, can someone just get me some Purell, please?
Tell you something, you kidnap me with an uncircumcised penis. Just go and kill me. Just kill me. I got to go. You can't catch me with this meat just next to my face. It's like,
So you're saying if it was a circumcised penis, you'd be like,
kill me either way is what I should have said. Let me rephrase.
No, you said it. Take it back.
Our
You cannot take it
European
back, sir.
viewers are very angry right now. Very angry.
Europe.
They say, Mon ami, I will download this video. Dislike. Because they say that about me. So what? He is wearing a sweater. It's natural. You stupid Americans. You let them cut off the ends of your penises. That's a generic European accent.
Yes.
If you couldn't tell. Couldn't
Yes,
tell.
very.
And of course, Hughie and Annie get stopped by Cindy from season 2.
Yeah, who Jess has been bringing up in
Jess brings
breakdowns,
up a lot.
like waiting for Cindy to come back.
And in like
So-
an insulting manner. Cindy, who has been at not Red River, Sage Grove.
Sage Grove.
Sage
this
Grove,
whole time.
and then escaped and was like squishing
Right.
people.
She escaped during the
during the big old like when
Lamplighter, when they discovered
Lamplighter.
the Lamplighter
No.
discovery.
yeah
Yeah.
I think it was season 2.
That was Shoe with Lamplighter.
Okay, yeah. She escaped. She's never gotten a new outfit.
She had them
Not
same
every-
clothes.
Not everyone is about fashion. Maybe she's got a closet full of
I know.
generic gray sweaters.
But presumably someone had to go get her and be like, "Hey, Cindy, here's the plan." Blah blah.
Here's a shower, because clearly
Yeah,
you got
yeah.
them
And she
same
was like, "Hey, can I get an outfit?
Her
Like a
hair
7
has
outfit?" And they're
not-
like,
grown
Her
and
hair
all.
has not grown out. Listen, they probably found her and she was like wearing like a brightly colored.
She's wearing a
really
nice
fashion, and she
outfit.
had like really long hair,
Yeah.
and they were like, "Oh, they won't recognize you."
Oh, Cindy, this won't work narratively.
We want the boys to really see you
Yeah,
and
yeah.
remember.
Somebody
who
just
you
came up with a
were.
pair of clippers.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
hey, we got to do this.
"Sorry,
real quick."
Cindy." Oh boy.
Hit her with the Full Metal Jacket beginning, just yeah.
But the only one of the boys who gets away is Annie. She flies away.
Yeah.
In a nice little moment where Hughie basically tells her, like, run, get out of
Her
here.
powers aren't controlled by electricity around her anymore. She now knows how to do it in her.
Oh, okay.
That sounds so weird to say. Pause.
It's within her.
It's within her. Because think about it. Every time she had to be around, she was draining power from the grid.
That's true.
And she was in.
But she's around. I mean, they're still around. Like, there's electricity everywhere.
I mean, true, unless she just, unless she did a Magneto thing.
All right, Nikola Tesla, come on, dude. But no, she's overcome her mental block, whatever.
Yeah. And then now she's flying actual distances instead of just hovering. And
Yeah, and really, frankly, Hughie should be like, you know what? You're welcome for me raw dogging that shifter 20 times because now you have your powers back. I helped you.
that dude better get tested for all the shifter STDs.
Well, she did say you're getting
You get tested
that's
for
why.
everything.
She was a little hard on him. I was like, my boy Hughie's had a rough year. Let's not get mad at him.
Listen, if you were dating someone, or if your wife was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
I've been hanging out with a dude for 10 days," it wasn't you.
Yeah.
You would be like, "Excuse me."
No, because time
No.
out.
You
No.
couldn't. If that dude ever made his wife a sandwich, you would be like, because you make a lot of sandwiches.
Okay.
And I'm just saying,
I'm following your now.
I'm just saying.
You're
if
saying
a
in this scenario.
shapeshifter- if your wife was all of a sudden with
Okay.
a shapeshifter, and that shapeshifter was like, "Here's a sandwich," she should have been able to eat that sandwich and been like, "Oh, this isn't a Brandon
Okay.
sandwich."
Hi, I have a question here. We found out that the shapeshifter gets your memories too.
Yeah.
So
Don't
literally,
they would know how to
know
make-
exactly what to do.
No, I don't care. He put it together through.
He said she even had the little birthmark by. Yes,
Yeah.
He put it together through little clues. He said, "You wore a dress. I've never seen you wear a fancy dress. You found
The
your
heat.
keys too
Right.
fast.
Yeah.
You're always cold."
Right, but that had also been the longest they'd gone without sex. So he'd had that amount. He'd finally been able to put together the pieces.
But see,
the sex
but
was
her
clouding
point
his mind.
Is like, her point is like, she was very clearly, she has been very depressed. And all of a sudden she wasn't.
Okay.
And her point is like, you didn't want to look at it too closely.
Yeah.
Because
Hey,
And you know
went
what?
from depression to horny. I'm not
Yeah.
complaining.
Thank you, Jay. Thank you,
that's
Jay.
the point.
As a simple lizard brain man, it would have worked.
Yes.
1,000%.
Look, every dude
But
in here
you-
who's
but-
saying otherwise.
But
yes.
deep down, he should have known.
Here we go with the
He got
deep
there.
down.
He got there.
He got there eventually.
He didn't want to
He
know.
told her. He was like,
Yeah.
after she got mad, she was like, you know how I didn't know? How I knew it wasn't
Yeah.
you.
He didn't want to know at
The
first.
man
though.
saved the president's life. And now he's getting lambasted just because he got a
Because
little bit
he got his
extra
own
this
wrong.
week.
Annie
20
coming
times.
in. I think Annie coming in saved the president's.
Well, these are numbers, and we can hash it out in the next episode, okay? We'll bring it up in season 5. Finally, we get a little tease at the end, a little post-credit, if you will. Homelander is reunited with his own father, Soldier Boy. And I did love this moment a lot because after his big victory and he's confident again, he looks in that tube and he sees Soldier Boy, and in his reflection, you know, you can see him start breaking down again. Like
I
he thought he finally had it all together, and I feel like now he's like snapping again.
I thought that was sort of a mixed reaction that he had. I don't think he was happy. I don't think he was sad. I think he was conflicted because he's still his father, but he also is like, oh, this guy is maybe the only person that's stronger than me.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Like, he sees his dad, and he's like, if dude snap out and blast me one good time,
Right.
it's a wrap.
This guy also, like, he wanted to connect with his father,
Right.
And this guy was like, you're a
Yeah.
little
Such a
bitch.
little
But Homelander
yeah.
is always in search of parental figures.
Right.
Yep.
So this is a truly like a moment where he's like, oh,
Yeah.
he's back.
I think
have a
he's like-
dad,
I think
but
he's
also,
stressing again,
I
and-
don't want that dad to come after
Yeah,
me.
and panicking because he's like, what do I do now? I
Yeah.
kind of thought this guy was dead,
And he
and now
can
I'm
use the
screwed.
whole, they put you back in, I'm the one that got you out.
Right.
I think he should do like a Psycho, an ending of Psycho on him. Like he should like put Soldier Boy next to him in his bed, like in his little frozen container.
Yeah.
Dress up in,
Hi, Dad. Let me tell you about my day.
and he wears like Soldier Boy's outfit and stands in the window. And people
Daddy
down on the
it fits.
people
Daddy
down
it
people down the street are waving, and they're like, "It's Soldier Boy," and they're like, "It's me, Homelander."
Papa,
dressed as Soldier Boy."
Papa, how did you sleep?
Papa,
How did you sleep, Papa?
What is wrong with you?
can we go to Botland now, Papa? Papa, want to go to Botland?
He goes to Botland and puts him in the cryo
On the roller coaster.
roller coaster. Daddy, let's raise our arms.
They on the teacup together, just spinning around. Daddy!
He's on a swing.
I'm not
Push
gonna
me,
lie.
Daddy, push me.
You want to see a whole episode of him,
I want to see him Weekend at Bernie'sing his dad.
Heck yeah.
but in the cryo tube.
In the cryo
Yeah.
tube.
They do face painting, but they're just painting on
Yeah,
the
yeah,
I
yeah.
love
He's like
it. I
trying
love
to
it.
feed his dad a
Yeah,
hot dog through that.
Dad, eat the cotton candy. Eat the cotton candy, Daddy.
They go through a ride in Central Park on the horse carrier.
What if, like, so this is Homelander we talking about. He realized he can't get to the mouth, so he lasers a hole in his mouth to put his straw in there. Like, Dad, take a sip.
Well, before we get into our big questions from this episode, any favorite moments anyone wants to discuss?
Sage realizing, she's like, yo, I did all this because I wanted to see if I could.
Yeah.
And then her, like you said, her notebook was never, I
it's
guarantee,
interesting.
because she knows he will never open it. She knew he would never open it. He would just throw it to the side, which he did.
I was wondering if there was like a scene they cut and they maybe looked at it and did something based on what she had written.
I feel like it wasn't. I feel like everything.
You think he was so insulted he just never looked
He
at it?
never
Or, like-
cared. Remember, he was like, he cared about the plan
Yeah.
until he realized, oh, she gets shot in the head. The plan doesn't work anymore.
Yeah.
Right? Remember that one moment. So now it doesn't matter what she's written or anything. He don't care about that. It was just, all right, put that notebook to the side. I don't
Yeah.
care. I don't
Okay.
care. And every single thing, every single moment, damn near to the election, is in that book. And then everything afterwards is in that book.
And he just never looked at it?
He doesn't look at it, and he doesn't know she's been planning everything.
Yeah, it was weird because she left it in the room, the like 7 meeting room on the table. And it was in his bedroom.
Yes, it was.
And like the rubble and stuff. But there was also, did it maybe fall through the ceiling?
No, it was in his bed. It was
I
in
know,
his-
I know, but there was this weird thing when
where
Ryan was in the
something fell
room.
from-
Something
yeah.
fell from the ceiling and it wasn't clear what it was.
Oh,
and I don't know if
that
there's
like
like a
maybe
hole.
it was the 7 table
I don't
or
know.
something.
I don't know.
I realized I talk about Supernatural a lot.
Sure. But I mean, Kripke wants you to.
Yeah, there were so many little Supernatural Easter eggs. Jim Beaver's catchphrases in Supernatural were idiots. He always called Jensen Ackles and Jerry
Jared
Padalecki idiots in that very specific Jim Beaver way. And he always said balls whenever anything went wrong. So having him golfing, very, very presidential golfing, and he missed 2 shots in a row, and both times he goes, balls.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, right after he said idiot. And then at the end, having Butcher drive off in this car down a long road in the dark. That was how every episode of season 1 of Supernatural ended. Supernatural, Jeffrey Dean Morgan show. And you frequently, once they brought Jeffrey Dean Morgan's character back to Supernatural, you would see him driving off in his old car into the dark after all hell had just broken loose.
I really liked Shifter Annie. I thought that was like a very fun dynamic. Yeah. And I think that was like a lot of fun for the actor to get to play this like hyper weird version of themselves and like have a lot of fun with it.
When the Shifter...
Would you guys eat those Lunchables that cause kidney stones?
I mean, she was so detailed about what they do. Like,
I don't eat regular Lunchables.
She was like, when she said, it's a class action lawsuit, I was like, hey,
I would eat one. I would eat one box.
Gross.
I like how she walked up on Andy. She was like, chill out. I just need a refill.
Yeah.
She was like, just calm down. I just need a refill.
Yeah, I thought that was a lot of fun, and I think that was probably fun for the actor to like to play
like
this weird version of themselves and have fun with it.
She got a meaty role this season.
She got to beat the piss out of herself.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true. Oh no, I was gonna say the Lunchables thing made me like feel so gross for eating Lunchables ever in my life.
You should.
I was like,
I used to eat Lunchables, man. No
Listen,
shame,
and
no
I'll
shame.
respect the meat and cheese cracker ones. Those things with the cold pizza, that's
Oh,
messed
yeah,
up.
That's what I'll do.
But
Give me
but
my
the
ham
meat
and cheddar,
cheese
turkey and
ones
cheddar.
Are the originals. The meat and cheese are the originals.
Yeah,
they
meat and
added
cheese.
pizza later.
Give me my little 4-square package, you know what I'm saying? Boom, 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 3 squares, excuse me. My meat, cheese, and crackers, that's all I need. I don't want no Capri Sun in it. I don't need I don't need none of that in it. Just give me my meat, cheese, and crackers.
I don't need a tiny tangerine.
No.
That probably
I don't need that.
Don't need it. Well, we got lots to talk about with this episode. But first, we want to thank our sponsors today. That includes Mando. Hey, it's summertime. We're all sweatier than usual, which means it's the perfect time to dial in your deodorant game with Mando. Mando offers scents like bourbon leather, Mount Fuji, Pro Sport, and Clover Woods. You could be the best smelling person at Comic-Con, and I beg you, if you're going to Comic-Con, to wear some deodorant.
Please, God, for the love of Jesus. Listen, that's the only reason I said, please, listen. Look, it is a week away from Comic-Con. Please do free shipping, rush it. Just do something, please.
You know what? And
Bring it with you.
If you're at home watching our live Comic-Con coverage right here on the Breakroom, wear deodorant also.
Reapply.
Listen, keep us double. Listen, we love y'all. We love all of our viewers. We love all of our fans. But we don't mind taking pictures with y'all. We don't mind talking to you. But here's the problem. Some of y'all, I'm going to go to my camera, smell like you want to be alone. Now, you don't need to do this. You don't need to stop smelling like oodles and noodles. I'm tired of some of y'all be smelling like chicken noodle soup with a soda on the side.
Oh, okay.
Get this Mando.
Exactly what he means.
Get that Mando. Mando whole body deodorant is powerful enough for the toughest body odor, but gentle enough to use anywhere on your body because Mando is aluminum-free, baking soda-free, cruelty-free, dye-free, and vegan. Is it delicious? I'll never tell. Mando starter pack is perfect for new customers. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice like mini body wash and deodorant wipes, and free shipping. Luckily, we have a discount code to help you get hooked on our favorite smelling whole body deodorant on the market. New customers get $5 off a starter pack with our exclusive code. That equates to over 40% off your starter pack. Use code BREAKROOM at shopmando.com. That's SHOPMANDO.com. Use code BREAKROOM. Okay, let's get into some of our questions about this finale. Like Sage and phase 2 of this plan. She famously crows, "This was only phase 1, my boy." What could phase 2 be?
The world.
Now, this is a smart move. Whatever happens, you always claim that was all part of the plan, and that was just phase 1. But there probably is a phase 2, and I like this kind of take, like you were saying, like she just wants to see if she can do this. Like, it's a fun little experiment for her.
Yeah, I mean, imagine how bored you'd have to be being the smartest person on earth. You would be bored constantly. So if someone comes to you and is like, "Hey, can you take down all of society and then reshape it in your own image?" You would be like, "Can I? All right, let's see."
I think some like pivotal moments this season for her character was especially when she's talking at the Fettlers party, right?
Yep,
to Newman, and she's like, I could have saved my grandma. No one would listen to me.
I can end world hunger. I can do all of this.
Yeah.
Fuck this world. Let them all die, right?
And I think that's what phase 2 is. Because phase 1 is a
building
country.
a utopia?
Because phase 1 is the country, 2 is the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the one flaw in every like super smart super villain's plan is that they clearly think they know what's best for everyone. And so they think, oh, I'm going to rebuild a perfect society, but that means taking away people's choice.
Yeah.
I think that she kind of wants to like rebuild society, a better society. I don't think it's going to work out.
No, like, because another important moment is in episode 1 when they're going through like new members for the 7, and Sage pops up, and A-Train's like, man, she's the smartest person in the world. He's the only one to say person.
Yeah.
But she's like got terrible people skills, right?
Yeah,
and like that's her flaw. And I think that's important because she may be very smart and may have these great plans, but she cannot predict like human behavior completely accurately because she doesn't quite get it. I think.
Yeah.
And so there are moments that kind of took her by surprise, I think.
But
And whether or not she
moments that
admits
took her by
that.
surprise was Homelander.
Yeah.
I think those are the only real moments because she was like she thought he wouldn't be petty. She thought he would listen to everything.
Oh, I think she absolutely knew he would be petty and knew he wouldn't listen. I mean, there's no way the smartest person alive doesn't see Homelander and think, oh, he'll fall in line with this plan. I think she knew. I think that there were things happened in slightly different ways than she expected.
Sure.
She absolutely expected Homelander to do. I especially I thought the writing was great when the 2 new members of the 7 are both asked, like, why did you do something? And Firecracker's answer was like, I did this for you. Like, she says to Homelander, I did this for you. And then when Homelander's like, says to Sage, like, why did you do this? And she's like, I wanted to see if I could. I was like, ooh, that's great. Like, Sage isn't doing that. Like, Sage isn't beholden to anyone.
Yeah.
So the second Homelander tries to start giving her orders that are against what she wanted to do this for, I think she's going to get a little sassy with it. And I think he's going to laser her in half.
Maybe, because I think phase 2 is basically, her reshaping the world, but also like isolating herself so she gets to be in like a Twilight Zone-esque way, like all by herself with all her books and the world's destroyed and she's alone.
And she probably reshapes Vought more than anything.
Yeah.
Because technically, Homelander runs Vought, right? And she can, because like Ashley, we don't know her fate.
Yeah, certainly this season, Vought was doing whatever
Homelander
wanted.
So she basically can make Homelander do these certain things for Vought to switch around. Because Homelander's whole thing is, I want a soup army. He has it now. I just want people loyal to me. He has it now. Homelander doesn't care. He doesn't need the Q ratings and anything anymore. He got it.
I think Vought stocks are going to take a tumble.
I think he's going to die.
Well, he's going to need her because
He can't run a company.
even as Newman was pointing out, like, well, what are you going to do about
And she was like-
this
she was
and that
like-
and that?
he was like-
and he's walking away like, don't worry about it.
He's like, you think I didn't think about that?
Yeah.
I'm like,
I do think that like if they take the this show loves being topical and I think that it's not going to be long until maybe the Supreme Court justices on the show start dropping like flies and getting replaced by Homelander's
by
picks.
soups and stuff.
Yeah.
Ooh, Sage, a Supreme Court justice.
Because remember, he shut down the new president real quick, was like, so who'd you call? Dude was like, hey, I swear to God, you the first person I called, bro. I swear to God. He was like, I ain't even talk to my mom. I ain't even talk to Jesus. You was the first one.
Here's a question for you. Does Sage know about the virus? Who do you think knows about the virus at Vought?
That's a good question.
Do you think anyone at Vought knows about the virus? Because it was developed at Godolkin.
Yeah.
And it was under secrecy, too.
And it seemed like Newman was the only one who got it out of
No, he would know.
Godolkin.
Because of Cate.
Oh, Cate.
Yeah.
He would know because of Cate.
Good point.
He would know because of Cate. Because remember,
Cate and
was-
Sam would both
'cause-
know about the virus.
Well, and more so Cate, because she was with Marie when she saw the
Right,
paperwork.
right,
and all.
right.
She was with Marie and all that stuff. So, yeah, Cate would know. So, he would know.
Oh, okay. So has that information made it to Sage? You think Homelander would tell Sage about that? Or Cate would tell Sage about that?
Somebody would have to tell him.
Question. I think that at this point the virus in the universe of the boys is sort of a red herring.
You think it is? They
did kind of like take it from Gen V, put it into the boys, let it kind of do its thing, but it ends the boys almost in the same way where a small group of people know about one sample of it.
But what if we think it's a red herring, but it actually, because this is the final season coming up, somebody that we do not expect gets popped with this.
Sure. I think they wanted to get it through this season.
You got to get it through the season.
Yeah. I don't think it's going to be like totally forgotten about. I just don't think it's not going to be as big as we thought it should be. Like I think to Sage, she could have perfected this virus if she wanted to.
Of course.
Like she could have. But as of right now, Frenchie is the only one whose brain contains the perfect
Well,
formula.
and like reshaping the United States government is a bigger deal than
exactly.
the virus
That's
right now.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking.
Okay, I like that. Good answer. Gina was right. We also want to thank our sponsor today, Helix Sleep. Listen, folks, you got to get a good night's sleep. Helix offers 20 unique mattresses, including the award-winning Luxe and ultra-premium Elite collections. There's also Helix Plus for big and tall sleepers, and Helix Kids mattresses for the young ones in your life. If you're not sure what mattresses to get, don't worry. Helix Sleep has a quiz that makes getting the perfect mattress so easy. You just take the quiz and Helix finds the perfect mattress for you. Helix delivers your mattress right to your door with free shipping in the United States. The mattress comes rolled up in a box and it's super easy to set it up yourself. Helix has a 100-night sleep trial, so you get more than 3 months to make sure that you love your mattress. Plus, Helix mattresses have a 10-year warranty, and with Helix's financing options and flexible payment plans, a great night's sleep is never far away. We love our Helix mattresses, and we think you would too. If you're looking for a new bed, check out Helix Sleep. Their 4th of July sale is still running now, well beyond the 4th of July. It's the perfect time to upgrade your sleep with 30% off an Elite or Luxe mattresses, plus 2 free pillows, or take 25% off site-wide. Click the link below or go to helixsleep.com/breakroom to find out more about this limited time offer. We also want to take a quick second to shout out our sponsor, Kalshi. Kalshi is the first legal financial exchange in the U.S. where you can bet on any event, including who's going to win what score on Rotten Tomatoes. So, for example, we got Twisters coming out this weekend. I'm very excited for it. If Twisters, right now you can make a wager on whether Twisters will get above a 75 on Rotten Tomatoes. That wager is currently trading at 50 cents. If you buy a share for 50 cents and it does get above the 75 on Rotten Tomatoes, you'll earn $1. So you can buy multiple shares. You see how it works. If the share price goes up before the Rotten Tomatoes score comes out, say to like 80 cents, you could sell on the 80 cents and you get that 80 cents. It's kind of like fantasy football for the entertainment industry, right?
I like this.
Zach, Evan, and I, we've bought some wagers on Twisters. Zach bought shares that Twisters is going to be above a 75 on Rotten Tomatoes. I bought shares that it'll be above 80 on Rotten Tomatoes. Evan thinks it'll be above 85% on Rotten Tomatoes. I think Zach and I are okay. I don't know about Evan on this one.
I'm going to be honest, I don't know if I'm okay either.
I'm going to go see it tonight. I'm so excited.
You got nervous real quick?
On Twister.
But it's a lot of fun. You can make wagers on. I have a couple wagers on how many Oscars Dune Part 2 might win. Oof. There's also different markets you can bet on: politics, music, climate, economics, tech, games, and even more. You can sign up for Kalshi using the link in the description. Make a deposit of $50, and the first 500 traders will get a free $20 credit on Kalshi. Check out the link below. It's a lot of fun. Thank you, Kalshi, for sponsoring today's show. Okay, on to our next question. What will Homelander do with this soldier boy body in a tube besides take him down to Cody Island?
We've covered this.
We've covered that. We know what he's going to do with his dad.
Brandon and I were talking earlier, and we both think that it would be great if the entire series ended with Homelander somehow getting depowered.
Yes, thank you.
And like ending up working at a fast food restaurant, and a mouthy customer comes in and he's like, "Hey, pick it up, man." And Homelander like goes to like blast him with his eyes, and he like remembers he's just like a regular dude now. And I would love it if somehow Soldier Boy is like brought out of cryo freeze. Homelander thinks he's like gonna get his daddy back, but then he gets blasted. All the V gets sucked out of his system. You compared it to Better Call Saul.
Yeah, he goes into hiding. Homelander goes into hiding, like dyes his hair brown.
Yeah, because he knows everyone's gonna be trying to kill him. So I would love it if Soldier Boy somehow like just depowers Homelander. I also, Jared Padalecki is going to be playing a character next season.
Yep.
I think that like Kripke is going to want to tie that in. I think whoever that character is, he's going to want him to fight Soldier Boy at some point. Either way, Soldier Boy is coming out of that cryo sleep one way or another. They're not just going to leave Jensen Ackles in a tube all season.
It's out the gate episode 1, because if you do it, I feel like you depower him out the gate this season. Like one of the things that he opened, because you can't wait for that.
Oh, you want to do it early in
You got to do
five.
it.
You want to pull Brian Cox.
You got to do it, because if you wait till almost the end of the season, then you're like, wait, this is the end, but there's no more seasons, et cetera, et cetera.
I mean, I do think it would be great if like he gets depowered, you have no idea where he is, and then the last episode he's like, "Can I take your order?" And he looks up and it's like Hughie, and he's like, Can Can I get a number 3 with extra ice?
He just jumps back. Homelander?
Yeah, I think there's
It's
a lot
John.
of the.
Homelander, he goes, no, it's John.
Oh, yeah.
He just says his name.
Only John.
And
He
then,
says it's
and then
John.
Hughie splashes a soda in his face. He's like, take that, you little bitch.
I mean, I think a lot of the good people in the audience want to see Homelander die. There's probably a lot of the
I think it'd be
some
so
of the
much more
audience who
satisfying.
Thank you.
So much more satisfying to see him. His whole struggle has been with his humanity, that he's
Right.
not as super as he wants to be. So seeing that dude get depowered and having to live as an average John
Yeah. Yep.
on the street, having to
It's a
commute
fate
to
worse than
work,
death,
It's a right? fate
having
worse-
to get enough sleep, otherwise he's too tired. Waking up and looking at the bags under his eyes. He's working for minimum wage. His boss is telling him, you got to work faster, man.
Get on them damn fries,
You're
John.
slow as hell, John.
you got to sit on the bus trying to go downtown.
I doubt y'all
you
have
can't
seen.
fly.
I
Very
doubt
much
y'all seen
more
this show,
satisfying.
Snowfall. Snowfall, the very last episode, Franklin Saint. Everybody thought Franklin Saint was gonna die, but Franklin Saint's fate was he became a crackhead in his neighborhood,
okay.
like everybody else he made. It's the same thing. You have him.
Yeah.
Homelander you don't kill him.
It's too easy of
It's
an
too
out for
easy. It's
him.
too easy of an out to kill him. You make him live his life as a human, but you do it. I think you gotta do it early.
What is that Bradley Cooper movie where he becomes the geek at the end?
Oh, Nightmare Alley.
Oh,
Yeah.
so good.
Yep.
He'll geek. Mister, I was born for it.
It's a great movie. Watch it.
There you go. Do that again. Now, there you go. There's your thumbnail right there. There's your thumbnail right there. There's your thumbnail.
Nightmare Alley was great.
It was great.
Should have won Best
I
Picture.
think it would be very satisfying to see Homelander just be normal at the end. And knowing that a dude who is the most powerful person on the planet and can't deal with some gray pubes, I think like seeing him be an average dude trying to figure out how to pay bills for the first time in his life, I want to see that.
Also, because everybody's gonna say, well, what about all the tubes and vials of V in his apartment?
Yeah.
Whatever Ashley's turning into, she gonna destroy them all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
She destroy because remember that's supposedly all the V left.
That's all
Yeah.
that be left?
According to A Train, remember Homelander has all of the V in his room.
Yeah, he's got all of Bot's V. For
He got
sure,
all of
yeah.
Bot's V. So whatever Ashley's turning into, she destroys Homelander's room. She destroys all that, and then there's no V. Soldier Boy hits him. Now he's stuck being this way.
You said it, Brandon, but if he just ends up looking like Anthony Starr
Yeah,
in
with-
the end,
with
like
the
he's got
brown
like
hair
brown
and the
With his
hair,
glasses.
and he's like not wearing a suit, so he doesn't look as big, and he's just wearing like khaki pants, and he's like walking in and in his little
Do you think
like
he
polo.
speaks in his New Zealand?
Oh, yeah.
His real voice.
Yeah.
It would be fun.
Yeah, Hughie and Starlight are like on their honeymoon in New Zealand, and they're
And
like,
he's just there.
they're like, can I get one kiwi juice? I don't know what they drink in New Zealand. I'm assuming it's a kiwi.
That's their state. That's their national bird. They're not going to drink it.
The kiwi's a fruit, Brandon.
It's a bird.
I know it's a bird too, but it's like they're not gonna get. Can we get this juiced ass beautiful bird?
They got a golden kiwi. Delicious. Could Homelander use Cate to control Soldier Boy? We haven't seen Cate meet a soup who can resist her yet.
Here's the thing. In Gen V, every time she uses her powers, she is really
does hurt.
hurting
Yeah,
Them
her.
eyes turned, them blushy, blood.
Which, like, we haven't really seen in The Boys. I'm guessing because they were like, we don't want to go.
We don't gotta get
wanna
into it,
explain
yeah.
it.
She only did it like once on the board.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm guessing they didn't want to be like, okay, in case you haven't watched Gen V, she hurts herself.
Yeah.
I think if she was gonna mind control someone as powerful as Soldier Boy, as powerful as Homelander, her whole brain would
be a
just
lot,
start to
yeah.
leak.
Can I give y'all a comparison with that? Let's switch universes. Remember in Infinity War,
Yes.
when you had Mantis trying to shut down Thanos?
Yeah,
it took a lot.
It took a lot.
Struggle.
She was like, "I'm trying to hold this dude."
Yeah. He's
like,
but can't.
lot of thumbnail options. A lot of thumbnail options today.
And then you have, but if she does it, the problem. I'm trying to get back on track, damn it. I can't this show. But if
I almost got it. That's Spider-Man. Oh yeah.
Oh, wait, here it is.
I almost got it. No, Peter Quill, no. Perfect. Tell the Russos we're back on for
This is
Secret
our
Wars.
Emmy content.
But she'd probably have like a grand mal stroke.
Yeah.
She would bless if like somebody
Yeah.
found her. So,
It'd be too much.
But
Yeah.
she also remember in her brain, Soulja Boy is the person she used to masturbate to.
Yes.
So she's never met him in real life. So what was that? Like it sounds like I'm joking, but what would that be?
She's gonna turn him into a walking sex toy, basically.
I think he's
Knock,
too
knock.
powerful.
Knock, knock.
I think
Who's there?
she's gonna
Go for
touch him. And she's gonna touch him, and she's gonna try and be like, "Oh, listen to everything Homelander says," and he's like, "Bitch, why are you
Yeah.
touching me?
Fuck you just before.
Yeah.
Why are you touching me?
Get
Are
away
we
from me,
gonna
Blondie.
kiss now?"
You know it'll work better if you grab me lower.
These women here, they're vintage, like fine wine. They just get a little dry.
Let's talk about our baby boy Ryan. Has he been fully Homelander pilled? Where do we think
No.
his head's at right now?
Absolutely not.
No, I listen. I have maintained that he you need him to be morally gray until the
Sure.
very end. Otherwise, like once that's established, I mean, he's the future. You can't have it be like, hey, now he's evil or now he's good. Again, this is another thing Kripke pulled in Supernatural with a character who was like half the son of the devil, half an angel. And you don't know until the very last season which way he's gonna go. I think you got to keep him. I think he's got to do something terrible, do something redemptive, do something terrible. He just killed Grace Mallory. I think he's gonna have a hard time with it. I think he's gonna kind of blame both Homelander and Butcher.
He's kind of killed two of his mother figures, right? His own mother and Grace
Also,
Mallory.
everybody Ryan has killed has been a mistake.
Yeah, it's been
Yeah,
accident.
He has never. Right, that's the one thing about Ryan. He has never killed anybody on purpose.
Yeah.
When he lasered Stormfront, he wasn't trying to kill her. He was trying to protect his mom.
He was just
but,
trying.
like,
Right.
He didn't know
that
he
was the
gonna-
most intentionally
Yeah,
damaging
at that
thing
point,
he's done to
at
someone.
that
yeah,
point.
yeah, but he had never at that point. He had never. I mean,
No.
he lived like a sheltered life
Right.
his entire. So he didn't know.
He got pushed off the roof by his own
the
dad.
robbery
think he's
stage thing.
gonna-
He was supposed
Yeah.
to just flick him, and he was like, "Oh."
Yeah. I think he's going to continue to go through some crap, but we're not going to see him fully aligned with either of them.
Does he wear his homeboy suit?
The shorts, it's so insulting. His little pale ass legs, barely got any hair on him. Come on, that's just rude.
By the
It's just
time he comes
rude.
back, that kid's going to be 30 years old.
I know.
Hey, everybody, welcome to VOD.
Welcome to Vaught.
Welcome to VOD. I'm
Evan-
Ryan Homelander.
Evan follows him on TikTok. He's done some great TikTok content.
Yeah.
Already putting out great work on TikTok. Go check him
He
out.
put his grandparents in some of the
I mean,
videos.
he's pretty
Yeah.
funny. Like he seems like
having a
he's
good
wholesome.
time.
He's having a wholesome good time being on one of the most popular shows.
I want to know how many of them actually watch us on these after shows.
I think
they'd
they
be
all watch us.
I think they all watch it. They don't want to say anything. They be like, they kind of right and wrong. I'll find out next week during Comic-Con because I'll talk to two of them.
Hey, wear deodorant if you're going to be a comic.
Mando.
Let's talk about the Butcher and Kessler of it all. If Butcher is still alive, how long do you think he can live now? Because in my
Now that he's a walking
here's
humor.
what I took it as.
It's not a tumor. It's V.
I think Butcher is dead. Like I think he fully died, and Kessler
okay.
is now 100% in control. And it's just like it's a tumor in a Butcher suit right
Yeah.
now. You know what I mean?
Like-
Just,
I
like,
think there's still a
squished
little
up
bit of
in
Butcher
there.
in there, but he's like
Maybe.
basically in a coma.
I think his body is decaying. He is dying. If somehow that tumor leaves him, he'll die immediately.
Yeah.
It's almost like the tumor is sustaining him just a little while longer. Because when that thing came out, everybody was like, yo.
Yeah. Jessica will have this in her breakdown on the new Rockstars
Yes.
channel, but there were 3 episodes of The Boys Diabolical, which was an animated show, that Kripke said these 3 episodes are canon. And one of those episodes involves a married couple where the old man steals some Compound V and gives it to his sick wife who has pancreatic cancer, I believe.
Pancreatic cancer, yeah.
And the Compound V it heals the wife, but then it makes the tumor inside of her sentient.
Yes.
And it
It
breaks
bursts
out and it
out.
has tentacles
Yeah.
and it's like this monster.
So that's what it is.
That's what I think is happening here. And I kind of would love the idea that like Butcher is like fully dead, but
Yeah.
like it would be kind of sad because we didn't get a real good goodbye from Butcher.
No, you did.
yeah,
You
I-
did.
I feel
When he
like
called-
you did
when he called Hughie.
Yeah, I do think we're gonna get one final redemptive moment from
Yeah,
him.
maybe
I
he
think-
like sparks back to life for a
Yeah,
second.
I think there's gonna be. I think he's ultimately gonna die. I think
Yeah.
Butcher is gonna die. He does in the comics.
Yeah.
But we're wildly off of the comics.
Yeah, and
that's not
everyone
really-
dies in the
That's not like a
comics and-
spoiler or anything. But I think he's got to have one last redemptive
Yeah.
moment where either like he can gain control of the body and ultimately destroys himself to save the boys. But yeah, I think, or like he gains control of the body and then uses it to destroy Homelander or Soldier
Right.
Boy or someone. But he's got to have a last redemptive moment before he truly goes away forever.
What if Soldier Boy blasts him?
Oh, and like kills the tumor.
It just kills the tumor.
Interesting.
But you know the side effect is like
It'll also kill him,
It'll
yeah.
kill him. The tumor will die first for sure.
Yeah.
But then you'll have this sad Butcher moment. His last few words.
Yeah.
Because maybe the tumor finally tries to attack the boys. Because if it's fully Kessler.
Or like Kimiko or
Yeah.
Annie.
Yeah,
or something
that's what I'm
like
saying,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, kudos to Carl Urban. That scene of him calling Hughie is so good.
Yeah.
And he's telling that story that's just so ridiculous. We're like, the birds get their baps out when the steak's at the table. And Lenny thought it was the funniest thing ever heard. He's saying it so earnestly.
Because he never told. Did he ever tell Hughie that his brother committed?
Yes.
Yeah, he told him about
Okay, I
Lenny.
couldn't
Because then
remember.
Hughie tries to use that at the end, right? Like,
Yeah,
Lenny
you're
wouldn't
right.
like this. But that's why I think Butcher is dead at that point. Because, like, it doesn't even work.
Yeah.
I mean, but Butcher's soul was
I think
dead
he's
long time.
inside in a coma. He's
Yeah.
trapped in that meat suit. In a
And
coma.
I mean, I also loved, as we talk about Ryan, Grace Mallory using her last card, breaking glass and saying like, "Hey, Homelander like assaulted your mom,"
Ugh.
and even in that moment, Butcher did not want her to say.
Yeah,
that.
he was like, "Yo, chill out." Yo.
Because he's like, it's not gonna work, and it's just gonna it's too much for him, and he doesn't need that right now.
And Butcher could have told him anytime.
And Butcher could have. I would have always expected that to come from Butcher.
Butcher never. But that was the one thing Butcher never told.
But he loved
Yeah.
his Becca so much that he would never tell her son.
And he
that,
would always be like, "Yo, that's your dad." He would constantly just say, "That's your dad."
And
He
I
would never
think-
say the
Yeah.
circumstances behind
And I
it.
think deep down he wanted Ryan to make the decision himself.
Yes.
Without this
Right.
knowledge.
Also, that's gonna mess him up more.
Yeah. That's
It's
why
not-
I'm worried
it's
about
not
Ryan.
Like, it's gonna mess him up more. No kid needs that in their brain.
Ooh, what's the conversation he has to have? Because he's going to approach his dad.
I think so. I
What's
think
that
he's-
conversation he has with him?
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if
question.
season 5, first
Yeah,
episode,
He has to have that question. Like,
Ryan
yo,
comes flying in and like starts attacking Homelander, and Homelander's like holding him back and like, what are you doing?
kind of like remember when Maeve tried to fight him?
Yeah.
And he was like, "Not now." And he was like,
Yeah.
So maybe Ryan does that, and it's like, "Yo, you assaulted my mom," blah
Right.
blah blah. And he's like, "Not. I don't want to talk about this right now. No, we're gonna talk about this right now."
I think they address it like first episode.
I mean, it's always felt a little. I love the boys, and I think people are gonna hate me for this, but it's always felt like a plot point that's a little bit out of character for this version of Homelander. The comics version of Homelander
Sure.
is much. The comics version of Homelander also assaults Annie / Starlight.
Yeah.
Also, it turns out that in the comics, Black Noir is a clone of Homelander,
Yes,
and
meant to
he's
stop
the
him.
one that actually
He did it, did the
actually
assaulting.
did the deed.
Yep.
I do think they will surface level it as much as they
Yeah.
can
Yeah,
and
yeah.
get to like the next
It's
point.
it's a tough story.
Because we don't need to
Right.
delve into the details and
Yeah.
make it like more than the awful thing it already is.
Right.
Let's talk about Gen V season 2 and how the events of this show might affect what we see there next. It seems like they're going back to school.
A-Train's gonna be all in it.
A-Train,
'Cause he
okay.
wasn't-
A-Train,
Think about it. He just ran away.
Right. But do you think he'll run to Godolkin?
I think somehow, some way, he'll be a part of it. He has to be, because I think like now there's about this. The truth is coming out of everything. Like Godolkin's truth is coming out. Vought's truth has come out. A-Train is the one member of the 7 who knows. Homelander's too busy with trying to get the boys and everybody around them and the Starlighters. He forgets about A-Train. And maybe I think A-Train does something in that, try to maybe grow his hair out or whatever, have a new identity to try to
A-Train goes back to school. He tries to look like a cool kid.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
There's
he
a
becomes
backpack.
Yeah.
Maybe he becomes the teacher.
What's up, my fellow
fellow
teens?
teens?
Hello, teens.
Hey, what are the track tryouts? I think I might have a chance.
I think Godolkin is now going to be basically like a training ground for future seasons,
Yeah.
which it always was, but now I think they're going to be more overt about it. I think Homelander will put like one of his soups in charge. It would be hilarious if he sent the Deep and was like, "Hey, you're the new dean of
God.
students, Deep.
Oh.
The Deep of students.
Oh no.
Copyright."
You know, it's funny because earlier in the season, if you would have asked me how they're gonna do like Gen V season 2, I'd be
Yeah.
like, man, it'd be so weird to go back to Godolkin after they had this huge thing.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. But now that like the government has been reshaped and the world's
Yeah.
been reshaped, I think you're onto something where like Godolkin becomes more like oh, this isn't a public university anymore for
Yeah.
soups. It is a training ground for future leaders of
Yeah.
this
And the
soup-based
fun,
nation.
the fun that they were having in season 1 is not the same anymore.
It's gone.
Yeah.
That parties and all that is done.
Yeah. So we have our 4 students who are locked away. We think in Vought Tower, based on the way the room looked, and we saw it looked like Web Weaver's room. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, Chance Perdomo passed away in between. They're just now starting to shoot season 2. So you have to address that somehow in the show. They've said they're not going to recast the character, which I
right.
completely
Maybe they'll
agree
do
with.
like some.
Yeah.
You'll see like a stunt double stand in, or do like they'll pull him out for some
Yeah.
experiment.
And like something goes wrong.
And something goes wrong, and
Yeah.
that's how you unfortunately
But I
take him
mean,
out.
I don't see. Do you see Sam and Cate going back to Godolkin? Do you see the 3 other students
yeah,
going back?
I think they have to.
They're the
be
guardians
on
of
the
Godolkin.
show.
Right.
They're the guardians of
Yeah,
Godolkin.
I think they have to be on the show. I think like the most clever way to do it would be for Homelander to basically be like, hey, Cate and Sam, you're going back to school. You're the face of that school.
Yeah.
We're going to shoot a bunch of like cool videos of like you guys going to school and having fun. So people continue to send their superhero children
Right.
to this university. And then like they're on campus, but they're ruling it with an iron fist.
Yeah.
And you see the others. You know, like, I think in the grand scheme of things, they have to either escape or they have to, like, let them out and be like, look, there's bigger crap going on right now than the fact that you guys are, you know, like, the fact that Homelander didn't kill them. I had theorized that, like, maybe they were going to use them. Maybe the shapeshifter was going to, that was the original plan, was to turn into one of them.
Oh, okay.
To, like, pin it on them because they were the perfect scapegoat. But I think they've all, you know, you never want to get too wildly away from your show's concept in season 2, the concept
Right.
that brought everyone in. So I think Homelander's going to maybe like send back Cate and Sam under the leadership of someone like the Deep, the new dean of students, and they're all going to basically be like, hey, we're going to shoot some videos. You better look like you're having a grand old fucking time
Yeah.
on this campus.
And that's what it's going to start with. It's going, hey, welcome to Godolkin.
Right.
It's going to be all
Yeah.
of those, and then when the camera stops rolling, all right, everybody,
Yeah.
back to your room, something like
Yeah.
that.
They're gonna say they rehabilitated the Marie and
Yep.
and the others. Oh, we gave them a talking to, and now they're back on track.
Real quick, and I know we got to get ready. So there's still another boy spinoff in Mexico coming.
Right.
What if we find out Homelander is not the first to reproduce?
Oh, okay.
Because I think we've opened that door now where we think all this. Remember, the world is, oh, the superheroes aren't gifts from God. They were given Compound B. Somebody else is going to be born a suit.
Okay.
Maybe
like,
that's-
like Ryan, like a natural.
They're going to be
suit.
born natural from
Okay.
a suit.
And you have to assume like other countries are still trying to figure out this formula.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Russia had been working on it. You know, you have Shining Light
Yep.
stealing
Yeah.
it and stuff like that. Other terrorist organizations or something like that. You know, you talk about them ruling the campus with like an iron fist, right? There's 2 dystopian novels that get referenced a lot. This last episode of The Boys even referenced like 1984, right? And that's ruling through like fear, oppression, fascism, like that kind of stuff. There's also the other famous dystopian novel about the future, Brave New World.
Yeah.
And that's where you rule through like, not through fear and oppression, but through like complacency, right? And if they make Godolkin seem like a cool, fun place to be.
Yeah.
And they're
Yeah.
like, hey, I know things got crazy with the government, but the campus is still running fine and everything's
Yeah.
great. And you don't even have to rule through fear. You give these soup kids what they want and let them just go hog wild. And they'll be like, yeah, the Homelander's great. We're totally on his side.
Yeah.
And we're going to keep pushing for soup supremacy. Because I think you'll
Yeah.
see like a civil war kind of start in season
Yeah.
5
Oh,
of
yeah.
The Boys, where it's like there are going to be soups who are like, no, this is wrong. We can't do this.
Yeah.
So it'd be best to present it as like we're not ruling through oppression. We're ruling through like,
But
hey, the soups are making the world a
Yeah.
better place.
And that was happening already in Gen V.
right.
Yeah.
From when the scene when Newman shows up.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You already started having a division of 2. Like, yo, it's not about supremacy. It's about, yo, we're superheroes.
Yeah. Yeah, I also think like, you know, The Boys and Gen V loves to pick topical subjects.
Yeah.
And, like
Yeah.
maybe they go in and they say like now the only history that we're going to teach is soup history.
Well, remember,
Okay.
Sage did that. Sage was talking about that when they had that meeting, talking about some changing critical suit theory. All
Oh,
this
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
She was talking about that
yeah.
with Newman in the, when they were in the ice skating thing
They're
at
gonna,
Hot
be,
Arena.
they're gonna be banning books on Godolkin University.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No to Kill a Mockingbird for you all.
Good.
Evan.
Good.
I also do think that, like, you know, Gen V season 2 could be what you guys were talking about, like the Supreme Court's justice being replaced. Like that could lay the ground as like that transition happens in the background, so that we don't the audience.
Oh, so it's a little less
better.
messy.
Yeah,
Then
yeah.
when season 5, the final season happens for The Boys, we're well into phase
This
2
new
of the
future,
plan.
yeah.
It's just about the boys rallying.
A time jump would be really good for like season 5. I think.
Yeah.
How far of a time jump do we want?
Just like a year or
year.
two to be like.
Just so that
get
everyone
through the
has a little
transition.
5 o'clock shadow.
Yeah.
to show that this is what the world is.
Yeah.
Because we know a lot of last seasons do that. They'll be like, well, this has been 2-3 years,
Yeah.
6, 7 months. Like, how long of a jump do we accept?
I think we want to see the ones who escaped sort of living in isolation. Like, I think since Annie got away and since A-Train got away, if those two pair up at some point, if Annie finds him and is basically like, hey, you need to come with me, and he's like, no, the fact that I'm still alive is crazy.
My family's
Well,
still
she
alive.
doesn't even really want to. Remember, she didn't want to trust him.
No.
I know. I think it's gonna be. I think this last season, if this season, like I kept saying, is The Empire Strikes Back. I think this last season is like Annie putting together a ragtag group of soups and normies who are against the current regime.
We're a ragtag group of superheroes, and we're just regular people together.
I think that last season has to be like her recruiting A-Train, recruiting the Gen V kids who don't go along with things.
Yeah, I mean, there's Zoe, who we see get thrown into Red River.
Yeah.
Stillwell's son is out there still.
Yeah.
I mean, all the
there's
kids at Red River and Sage Grove.
They're still there.
And there's some. I mean, like who knows where Ashley will be. I think if it's sort of like all of these factions coming together to free the boys and put things right again, that's a season 5 I want to see.
What's Seth gonna do without his writing partner Evan now? Besides,
He's gonna collect double the money.
I was gonna say he's gonna keep the whole check.
Look, let me tell you
they're
something.
writing as a duo.
I'll
He
tell you
gets to
something.
keep the whole check
Seth
now.
deserves to have his job in Vought Tower.
He lost his penis.
He lost. I'm sorry, brother. You lost your penis. I hate to say that because I'm gonna have to talk to you and see you later. That's really weird when I have to say that about a friend.
Yeah.
Like I hang with this dude like every other day.
Tell him to stay out of those cold hoo-has. You know what I mean? They're dangerous. Evan missed that one, so it'll stay in. As we wrap up this beautiful season of The Boys, who do you think was the most super this season? Of the soups or normies out there? Who do you think really stole this season? Who did you like the most? Who was having the most fun? I'll tell you my answer,
Oh
folks.
yeah, I know what your answer
It's
is.
the Deep all the way.
Oh,
The Deep
okay.
killed it this season. I had so much fun with him.
Yeah.
He's a terrible person, a murderer.
Yeah.
Awful guy, but man, every chance he had, he stole the show.
I thought you were going to say Sage.
I
I love Sage a lot too, but
I love Sage a lot. I've got to give it to A-Train. I
Okay,
really
what
liked
a
his
season.
arc.
Yeah.
I really liked his arc. Like, we started this whole journey with him running through a woman.
right.
And, like, we ended it with him sort of being redeemed. I
Yeah.
mean, he's, like, kind of the
It's
only
believable,
successful
too.
character who, like, the only character who's been successfully redeemed. Like, even Victoria Newman was doing it for selfish reasons. We
Yeah.
don't know if she was going to go back on it. But I love a good redemption story. I love that, they sort of showed him throughout as like a victim of circumstance, and that he was able to overcome it, and that he actually cares about his family and his brother and tried to give back to his community. I thought this season, I'm glad they didn't kill him. I think he's going to play a big role in this last season, in season 5.
I hope so too.
I was conflicted because I was gonna go either Sage or A-Train.
Same. So you got to go Sage then.
I'm going Sage because
Sage is great.
From the moment she showed up, I kept saying everything is gonna be part of her plan, and Homelander's gonna think it's his. And I think that's been the biggest thing. Homelander keeps sitting there like, my plan is. She was like, no, that was part of the plan. She was like, if you'd have just listened, this has all been part of the plan. Newman being a patsy, part of the plan, et cetera, et cetera. Here's the Speaker of the House, who's now third in command, who will be the president, part of the plan. Sage was always like this. She had never missed a beat. The only thing that's changed for us with Sage was when we found out, oh, she's a freak when she gets lobotomized. Like,
Are we all?
I mean, you don't need to lobotomize. Yo, shouts out to Black Noir was like, I love you. Deep was like, she got to get lobotomized to have sex with you too? What are you talking about, friend?
My poor Deep, man. He really went through it.
So
this
yeah,
season.
I think it's Sage. For me, it's Sage.
He's a poet.
Also, is Ambrosius's body still behind that closet
I don't
door?
know.
Kevin!
He better have
Is she
killed.
slowly rotting back there?
He better have killed all them fish, dude, because they were witnesses, and they'll talk.
I
Those
mean,
fish
maybe
will
they were
talk.
on the list of employees they needed to kill.
Yeah, Black Noir's like, who's scaly fins, gills? Who are these?
He was sitting there reading this book, remembering Ambrosius. Was like, yeah,
Deep
she
thoughts.
She gave me the best. She gave me the best beak I've ever had.
Oh my gosh! Oh my
She
gosh!
squirted. She squirted it to me.
No.
Don't use
Molluscus.
the beak. deep. She's got 8 arms.
She got 8 arms. That's a...
Don't make me do my weak
No,
face
we're not
again.
doing it again. Not doing it again. Well, that's it for us today. That's it for us this season. Again, thanks to Noah Chen for writing this week's recap. Make sure to subscribe to the Breakroom channel right here on YouTube and give us a follow on Twitch where we do videos like this live. Mr. Jay Washington, where can the fine folks find you online?
Where he just said on Instagram, TikTok, and OnlyFans.
Oh.
Yeah, listen, hear me out, okay?
I'm hearing you out.
I'm on OnlyFans. I had to do. I taped for LMAOF TV. That's the OnlyFans TV. So all of our sets are gonna live on OnlyFans.
Beautiful.
And I might have a shirtless pick of 3 on there. Nah,
Yeah.
So on OnlyFans. And
Yeah.
I ain't charging that much, ladies, fellas. You want? Hey,
Yeah.
fellas, you want to see how much work I've been putting in the gym? Don't pay that little $5 on OnlyFans. Subscribe.
There. It's a great reason to tell your partner why you have OnlyFans on your phone.
Yeah, I get.
support
You're here to
Jay.
support Jay Washington.
Gotta support Jay.
I am your guinea pig. Yo, honey, the only reason I got OnlyFans because Jay watched, I watch on the break room all the time. He said he needs support and the love. And I was like, I'm going to support this black man in his endeavors. I know I'm a white man, but I'm going to support that black man in his endeavors.
That's what I'm gonna do. What do you mean there's other stuff on OnlyFans, honey? What are you talking about?
What do you mean smut? I'm
It's
not
just
watching
for comedy.
Smut.
It's a
just
comedy
for comedy.
app.
I'm just looking at his progress in the gym every
He has been
day.
working. He has been trying his hardest to stop getting bloated. So look, honey, he is sitting there trying to be a role model for everyone, but it's through OnlyFans, and I am a fan. That is your excuse.
Tell
you
us
can
if
use.
you want us to do this bit for 8 more weeks.
I've been so glad this season is over. Make sure to follow at Breakroom NR on Instagram, Twitter, Threads, and of course Twitch. We'll catch you next time. Stay super. Later, skaters. Goodbye.